My Nancy, I don't know how to begin to describe what she means to me, except to say I can't imagine life without her.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. My life didn't really begin until I met Ronnie.
Rainbow you and shower you with shine.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and welcome to this month's Live From at the Reagan Library. Remember, we do these on the first Wednesday of every month. In just 2 days, on March 4th, it marks what would have been the 70th wedding anniversary of Ronald and Nancy Reagan. As such, we're going to spend today's Live From talking about their love story and sharing some of my favorite photographs from both the public and private collections. Now, don't forget, we do take your questions at the end of every episode, so please, if you have any questions, put them in the comments section below. We'd love to answer them. It's been a couple of months since anyone has asked us questions, so please put them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them at the end of the episode. So, sorry, there's a lot of noise in the background. Hope you're not hearing it, but distracted me, but let's get back in. So it was fall of 1949, and Ronald Reagan was president of the Screen Actors Guild. He got a phone call from a young actress by the name of Nancy Davis. See, she had a problem because she was being confused with an actress of the exact same name who had ties to a communist friend group. The two agreed to meet for dinner and to discuss the problem, and they ended up staying out almost half the night. Within a few months, they were dating each other exclusively. To avoid the intrusion of the Hollywood press, they married in a private and secret ceremony at the Little Brown Church in the Valley on March 4th, 1952. The only people in attendance were the minister, as well as their good friends who acted as maid of honor and best man, also fellow actors William and Artis Holden. So they got married, and we are going to talk about this case behind me, but first we're actually going to talk about some photos that we have in our collection. I will say that Ronald Reagan often repeated a line that he always said in movies, that he said about his relationship with Nancy Reagan when he said, "God must think a lot of me to have given me her." The two of them also always both said that their lives didn't begin until they met each other. So from 1945 until 1951, Ronald Reagan owned a property in the Los Angeles area. It was not his primary residence. And during that time, from 1949 to 1951, when Ronald Reagan and Nancy Davis were dating, they would often go there. And these are some of my favorite photos from that time frame. In the early 1950s, the two went to the Academy Awards together. After getting married, they lived in the Pacific Palisades, and so these are some of my favorite photos of the two of them from our private collection from the 1950s. In the 1960s, of course, we have a lot more photos from our private collection, and the ones we're sharing with you now are some of my favorite photos from before when Ronald Reagan became governor of California. And what about the 1970s? Well, the two owned a ranch in the Malibu Hills area, and these are some of my favorite photos from those years as well. Now, of course, in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan became president of the United States and had an official photographer. Over 1.5 million photographs were taken of Ronald Reagan over the course of those 8 years. But even in the public eye, their love and devotion for each other never waned. They often found time before their busy day for a private moment, a quick kiss, a quick hug. And so those are some of my favorite photos that we're sharing with you now. Their love story is one that actor Charlton Heston once called the greatest love affair of the American presidency. So if you join us continuously over the course of these past years when we've been doing these live froms, you might remember that 3 years ago, March of 2019, we came to you from this exact same gallery to honor their anniversary. And we talked about the case that's behind me. We went through all the different items. It's the wedding bouquet, the cake topper, Mrs. Reagan's wedding ring, their marriage certificate, a marriage license. The one thing we're going to show you again today, because I just love it, it's my favorite, is this concrete block right here, which is called the Amalfi Valentine. You may recall just a few minutes ago I said that in the 1950s they lived in the Pacific Palisades. And when they were in the Pacific Palisades, they lived on a street called Amalfi Drive. Prior to moving out, Ronald Reagan went into the backyard and carved their initials within a heart and left that in the concrete in the backyard. 40 years later, the then owner of the property was cleaning out brush in the backyard and came across this heart, the Amalfi Valentine. He had the entire concrete block cut out of his backyard. He contacted us at the Reagan Foundation, and we arranged for him to come up to the Reagan Library and actually gift the concrete block, the Amalfi Valentine, to Mrs. Reagan. She then gave it to us here at the Reagan Foundation. We immediately put it on display, and it's been on display ever since. I just love that. It just really talks about their love affair. So as you know, if you do watch these every month, we do always also share items we have in our museum store that fit the theme and the category of what we're talking about in our live from. I do want to remind you the segment after is the question. So please, I want to interact with you. If you have any questions about their relationship, this gallery, this live from the Reagan Library, anything, go ahead and put it in the comment section below right now, and I will do my best to answer that at the end of the episode if I can. So as we always say, really easy to shop here with us at the Reagan Library. It's simply reaganlibrary.com/store. That's simple. Everything that we're talking about today is right there on the homepage, reaganlibrary.com/store. Scroll down just a little bit to the featured product section, and all items are right there. You can also go to our Amazon store, amazon.com/Ronald Reagan. Not everything we talk about is there, but it is a very big selection, of course, with the ease of shopping from Amazon. So we keep saying their wedding anniversary is March 4th, 1952. And 1 year for their anniversary, Mrs. Reagan gifted Ronald Reagan cufflinks that are the month of March from 1952 with a gem star on the 4. Ronald Reagan considered them his lucky cufflinks. He wore them whenever he had a big meeting, an important speech. In fact, he wore them during his famous Tear Down This Wall speech at the Brandenburg Gate. We have recreated the cufflinks, both in men's cufflinks and in a woman's necklace. But what is great about this, and this is just on our store, not on Amazon, so reaganlibrary.com/store. What's great about these is these are customizable. So yes, you can purchase March 4th, 1952, but you can also choose any month from any year. You can put the gemstone on any day. So it makes a great anniversary gift for your loved one. So this was an anniversary gift from Mrs. Reagan to President Reagan. Now, President Reagan in 1977, on the honor of their 25th wedding anniversary, gifted Mrs. Reagan a canoe for their ranch, and he named the canoe True Love. In fact, that True Love canoe is on display here at the Reagan Library. Our store partnered with Waterford Crystal and had a very special elliptical bowl made with the words True Love engraved in that bowl. So we sell that here. Just speaking of love stories and great quotes, we also sell a Madaheta trinket tray. But what's great about the trinket tray is the quote. It actually comes from 1 Corinthians 13:7, and it says, "Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things." And then the last thing to mention from our store is the 1981 Lenox China inaugural plate. And what's great about it, besides being a collector's item, of course, is that Ronald and Nancy Reagan are within the plate in 24 karat gold. So again, all 4 of these items, reaganlibrary.com/store. Scroll down to the featured product section, and if you you can find all 4 things. Again, you could also go to Amazon.com/Ronald Reagan and find items there. I'm being told there are no questions, so we'll keep every live from we'll keep asking for. Maybe one of these days you guys will submit it, but I do appreciate you guys watching. We know you have lots of options. We're glad you came and chose this with us. We'll wish President and Mrs. Reagan the happiest of anniversaries. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
I think it's all too common in marriages that no matter how much partners love each other, they don't thank each other enough. And I suppose I don't thank Nancy enough for all that she does for me. So Nancy, in front of all your friends here today, let me say thank you for all you do. Thank you for your love. And thank you for just being you.
Oh, dear.
You got a cuddle up?